The gleaming Mediterranean jewel of Monaco has always represented glamour, wealth, and fairy tale romance, but behind the palace walls, Prince Albert and Princess Charlene are facing a moment of profound heartbreak that has left the principality in collective mourning. What could possibly shake two individuals who have weathered so many storms together, who have represented strength and resilience in the face of countless challenges? The answer reveals a deeply human story that reminds us even those who wear crowns are not immune to the devastating blows life can deliver. Before we dive deeper into this emotional revelation, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and share this video with anyone who follows royal news. Drop a comment below telling us what you think about this situation, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our latest updates on royal families from around the world. Monaco's Prince Albert II and Princess Charlene have recently shared news that has sent ripples of sadness throughout their small but significant principality and beyond. The royal couple, known for their dedication to charitable causes, their environmental advocacy, and their commitment to their twin children Prince Jacques and Princess Gabriella, have experienced a loss that touches the very core of what makes us human. This is not about political intrigue or royal protocol. This is about genuine grief, the kind that transcends titles and tiaras, the kind that reminds us of our shared vulnerability regardless of status or wealth. The tragedy that has befallen the Monegasque royal family speaks to something universal. In a world where we often see royals as distant figures living lives completely removed from our own reality, moments like these bridge that gap in the most poignant way possible. Albert and Charlene have always been somewhat different from other royal couples. Their relationship has been scrutinized, questioned, and analyzed perhaps more than most, with Charlene's adjustment to royal life being particularly challenging and well documented over the years. The former Olympic swimmer from South Africa has faced her own battles, including serious health issues that kept her away from Monaco for extended periods, leading to endless speculation and rumors about the state of their marriage. But this latest development is different. This is not about rumors or speculation. This is about a confirmed tragedy that both Albert and Charlene have acknowledged publicly, sharing their great sorrow with a world that watches their every move. The couple's willingness to be vulnerable in this moment, to share their grief rather than hide behind the traditional royal stiff upper lip, demonstrates a modern approach to monarchy that resonates with contemporary audiences who value authenticity and emotional honesty. Understanding the context of their lives makes this tragedy even more poignant. Prince Albert, who ascended to the throne in 2005 following the death of his father Prince Rainier III, has always carried the weight of Monaco's legacy on his shoulders. His father's marriage to the iconic American actress Grace Kelly became one of the most legendary love stories of the 20th century, and Albert has lived his entire life in the shadow of that fairy tale. His own path to marriage was far from straightforward, with acknowledgement of 2 children born outside of marriage before he finally wed Charlene Wittstock in 2011 in a ceremony that captivated the world. Charlene's transition from Olympic athlete to princess has been anything but smooth. Her tearful appearance at her own wedding sparked years of speculation about her happiness and willingness to embrace royal life. Multiple reports suggested she had attempted to flee Monaco before the ceremony, though these were never officially confirmed. What is undeniable is that Charlene has struggled visibly at times with the constraints and expectations of her role. Her extended absence from Monaco in 2021, initially explained as being due to medical complications from a procedure, fueled intense media speculation about the state of the royal marriage and her mental health. Through all of these challenges, however, Albert and Charlene have presented a united front when it comes to their children. Prince Jacques, the heir apparent, and Princess Gabriella were born in December 2014, and the couple has consistently demonstrated their devotion to giving their twins as normal a childhood as possible given their extraordinary circumstances. The children represent not just the future of the Grimaldi dynasty but also the hope and continuity that every royal family requires to maintain relevance and public support. So when tragedy strikes this family that has already endured so much public scrutiny and private challenge, the impact is magnified. The nature of their great sorrow touches on themes that resonate with families everywhere, regardless of whether they live in palaces or ordinary homes. Loss is loss, grief is grief, and the pain of seeing something or someone precious slip away transcends all boundaries of class and privilege. The Principality of Monaco itself, that tiny sovereign city-state on the French Riviera spanning just over 2 square kilometers, has long punched above its weight on the world stage. With its Grand Prix, its casino, its status as a tax haven for the wealthy, and its royal family that brings a touch of old-world glamour to modern Europe, Monaco occupies a unique position. The population of just under 40,000 people maintains an intimate relationship with their ruling family in a way that larger monarchies cannot replicate. When the royal family suffers, the entire nation feels that pain collectively. Albert has been a visible and active sovereign, involving himself in environmental causes particularly related to ocean conservation, a passion that aligns with Monaco's maritime identity. He has worked to position Monaco as a leader in sustainability and climate action, using his platform to advocate for policies that many larger nations have been slower to embrace. Charlene, despite her struggles, has thrown herself into charitable work, particularly focused on water safety and drowning prevention, causes close to her heart given her background as an elite swimmer. Together they have represented Monaco at countless international events, maintaining the Principality's profile in diplomatic relationships. But none of that preparation, none of that privilege, none of those resources can shield anyone from the kind of tragedy that levels us all. The great sorrow that Albert and Charlene have shared with the world reminds us that behind every crown is a human heart that can break. Their acknowledgement of this pain, their willingness to be vulnerable and to share their grief publicly rather than maintaining the traditional royal distance, speaks to a changing understanding of what leadership and monarchy mean in the 21st century. People today want authenticity from their public figures. They want to see the human being behind the title. The stiff formality that characterized royal families for centuries is giving way to a more relatable, emotionally available approach. We see this with younger royals across Europe who share their mental health struggles, who speak openly about the challenges of balancing duty with personal well-being, who acknowledge that privilege does not equal happiness or protection from life's hardships. Albert and Charlene's willingness to share their great sorrow fits into this broader pattern. By acknowledging their pain, they create a moment of connection with their subjects and with royal watchers around the world. They remind us that grief is universal, that loss does not discriminate based on bank accounts or bloodlines, and that sometimes the most powerful thing leaders can do is show their humanity. The impact of this tragedy on the royal children cannot be overlooked either. Prince Jacques and Princess Gabriella are still young, at an age where they are forming their understanding of the world and their place in it. How their parents navigate this difficult time, how they model processing grief and supporting one another through hardship, will shape these children in profound ways. The twins represent the future of Monaco, and the emotional intelligence and resilience they develop now will influence the kind of leaders they become. Monaco's royal family has survived numerous challenges throughout its history. The Grimaldi dynasty has ruled Monaco for over 700 years, making it one of the oldest ruling families in the world. They have weathered wars, political intrigue, financial crises, and personal scandals. They have adapted to changing times while maintaining the traditions that give them legitimacy and cultural significance. This latest tragedy becomes another chapter in that long history, another test of the family's strength and the institution's endurance. What makes this moment particularly poignant is the timing. After years of speculation about Charlene's happiness and the stability of the marriage, after her long absence and recovery period, after what seemed like a gradual return to public life and a renewed partnership with Albert, this tragedy strikes. Just when things appeared to be stabilizing, life delivers another blow. It is a reminder that healing is not linear, that just when we think we have overcome one challenge, another can appear without warning. The public response to the royal couple's announcement of their great sorrow has been one of overwhelming sympathy and support. Social media has been flooded with messages of condolence and solidarity from around the world. People who might typically criticize royal families or question their relevance have paused to acknowledge the shared humanity of this moment. There is something powerful about collective grief, about a community coming together to support those who are suffering, and we are witnessing that in real time as the world responds to Monaco's royal tragedy. Looking forward, how Albert and Charlene emerge from this period of great sorrow will define much about their reign and their legacy. Will this tragedy bring them closer together, forging a bond strengthened by shared grief? Will it provide an opportunity for Charlene to fully embrace her role with renewed purpose? Will it change how they approach their public duties and private lives? These questions remain unanswered, but what is certain is that they face this challenge with the eyes of the world upon them, watching not just with curiosity but with genuine compassion and concern. The story of Monaco's royal family has always been intertwined with themes of love, loss, glamour, and tragedy. From Grace Kelly's untimely death in a car accident in 1982 to the various personal challenges that have marked the Grimaldi lineage, this family has never been strangers to sorrow. Yet each generation must face its own trials, must find its own path through grief and hardship. Albert and Charlene are now walking that difficult path, and their journey resonates because it reflects struggles we all face in our own lives, albeit without the public scrutiny and media attention. As we watch this chapter unfold, as we witness a prince and princess grappling with great sorrow, we are reminded of what truly matters in life. Not the palaces or the jewels, not the titles or the ceremonies, but the relationships we cherish, the people we love, and how we support one another through the inevitable heartbreaks that life delivers. Monaco's royal couple is teaching us about resilience, about vulnerability, about the courage it takes to face tragedy with dignity while acknowledging the depth of pain. The coming months will reveal more about how this tragedy shapes the royal family and the principality they led. But for now, the world watches with sympathy as two people who happen to wear crowns navigate a very human experience of loss and grief. Their great sorrow becomes a mirror in which we see our own vulnerabilities reflected, and their courage in facing it publicly becomes an example of strength that has nothing to do with power or privilege and everything to do with the human spirit's capacity to endure. So as Prince Albert and Princess Charlene of Monaco continue to process their great sorrow, as they support each other and their children through this difficult time, perhaps the most important question we should ask ourselves is this: in a world that often values strength over vulnerability and stoicism over emotional honesty, what can we learn from leaders who choose to share their heartbreak rather than hide it, and how might their example change our own approach to facing the inevitable tragedies that touch every human life?